Hey folks, Amber Broadway here, President Chief Operating Officer at Solitude. It's so good to see you. Here we are in our September update. I don't know about you, but that means September for me means ski season is on, and it's really exciting. You're starting to you'll see a little bit of pop of color up here in the canyons, a little cooler at night, and we're super excited. You know, we've put out there our planned opening day of November 14th, but you know us, as soon as we can get it ready, we will give you the goods. What we want to just share with you is some updates on what we've been doing this summer and our capital projects. So we've had a lot of construction. For those of you that have been here and come up and visited us, you know that we've been our Master Village Association has been upgrading all of the pavers in the village. Rocky Mountain Power is up here burying power lines, and the resort has had a couple of big projects going on, some of which have been more impactful here in the base area, some of which have been happening up in the ridge, and you didn't know a lot about. So that's what we're here to do today. The focus of the projects, Solitude's primary capacity constraints for us, as many of you know, parking and snowmaking. And so snowmaking project this summer has been a huge focus of our project. We've also been able to focus a little bit on finishing up a little bit of the last portion of our kind of phase one Gravity Logic mountain bike park build out, and then installing remote avalanche control systems up on the Fantasy Ridge. So I'm joined today by Ian Riddell. He is our Director of Projects and Planning. Ian's been with Solitude 30 some years.
30 years.
30 years, and you probably recognize his face from the origination of the chatter. Ian spent a good chunk of his career here working in the ski patrol department and the avalanche mitigation department specifically. So, and he's now in a new evolution of role here at Solitude, a really critical role. And so I asked Ian to come out here today to give us some insights on these projects that we've been working on. You know, how are things going? Tell our guests a little bit about the projects, how they're going, and
All right, yeah, thanks, Amber. All right, so we've got three major capital investment projects. Our biggest being the snowmaking pipeline. It's basically, we're putting a new foundation in place for our snowmaking system that'll set us up for the future. I'll get more into it in a moment. The second project is the racks in Honeycomb Canyon. We're using V's and towers to help us with our avalanche hazard there, reducing that hazard and improving worker safety. And then the third is the last trails being put in from our phase one of the Gravity Logic bike park. So let's talk about the snowmaking real quick. So what we're doing is, for many years, we've been pulling, well, how we operate right now is we pull snowmaking water out of Big Cottonwood Creek. With that, there's some issues as far as pulling in debris into our pumps. So what we've been looking for is a cleaner, more efficient water source. So what we're doing is we're putting in a pond right below Twin Lakes Reservoir, which is our primary source for the water that goes into Big Cottonwood Creek. And that'll allow us to put a pipeline that goes into that pond that'll bring water back to Solitude. So it's about 10,500 feet long that comes down to our existing pump house. So this is the foundation of our new system. Right behind us today, you can see some dirt on the hillside. It comes down Lower Dynamite, crosses Blue Spruce, and then Main Street, Easy Street, and heads down to the pump house. So that's going to provide a cleaner and more efficient water source. We're going to be able to feed our snowmaking system just on gravity without turning on a pump up to 8,600 feet with 300 PSI, which is a pretty big deal. So we're going to see some great efficiencies with that and a really reliable water source. So that'll be.
And Ian, just so our guests know, so from the Twin Lakes to get to Lower Dynamite, that pipeline's coming down that Soulbright Trail?
That's correct, down Soulbright, starting at about 9,400 feet and ending up at 8,100 feet. So quite a bit of vertical relief there.
What does the construction team run into? When Ian took me up there to walk that a couple weeks ago, let me just tell you, I could not believe how rocky our terrain is here. Like, it's unreal.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest challenges is encountering rock. And we've had to do some rock blasting up on the Soulbright, the upper portion of the Soulbright, to just be more efficient with the construction, just trench through it with blasting versus picking away at it with a hammer on an excavator. Yeah. So that's gone extremely well for us. It's been very efficient, and that's the area that the team's really focusing on right now. With that said, we have pipe in the ground right behind us here, and it goes almost all the way up to the stilling pond, up to the snowmaking weir below Twin Lakes right now. So they're really getting after it. We just poured concrete at the weir yesterday, so that's also coming into place, the construction up there at the pond. So really excited about that. It's really just going to set us up for success for more reliable snowmaking early season and the ability to expand our trails and lift network when we do open. So we're looking forward to that. But we need a good foundation in place, and that's what this pipeline is going to do for us. Our next project, significant project, and that's, by the way, that's an investment of $4.5 million going into this snowmaking. So a real significant investment there. And then in the Honeycomb Canyon, we have installed 4 new racks, V's and towers. They're on the east face of the Honeycomb Canyon. We currently have 4 V's and towers in place. This summer's investment was $1 million, and put that on top of the existing investment of about $1 million. That's $2 million in Avalanche mitigation technology in there. So that's really exciting as well, because it really enhances worker safety. Our avalanche professionals that are up in that area, that's our most challenging avalanche route that we have. That takes our team sometimes over 5 hours to complete that ridge line. So we're really excited about that, limiting exposure to our workers. And one of the benefits is we anticipate being able to open the west face of the Honeycomb Canyon sooner, as we don't have to send up teams to mitigate that hazard. We can do it all remotely. So we should really see some benefits this winter as well there.
And how many total of those VSIN towers do we now have on the Fantasy Ridge?
We currently have 8.
Okay, so roughly, and how much have we invested in those? Or
$2 million.
$2 million, yeah. So big investment in terrain openings. And we know our friends over the hill in Little Conwood have been putting these in for several years prior to us, but we're really excited that we have this now. It's a huge addition to the mitigation team here, and our guests, right? Is just making sure that reduces that exposure to our employees and our ability to try to get terrain open more quickly.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, our first installation was in 22. We put 1 in, then we put 3 more in 2023, and this summer of 25, 4 more. So we're really getting there, and we're just going to have to see how this works with our program and see if there's a need to add additional or not. But it's going to be real exciting to utilize those and see how that goes. And then our last project is our last mountain bike trail for the mountain bike park. It will not be complete this year. It starts at the top of Moonbeam, and this is Apex Lift right behind us here. And at the top of Apex, or on the last steep pitch of Apex, Upper Altibird, it cuts across that and then works its way out to our left side here. And then it cuts back through the trees and works its way back over towards Moonbeam. So I've gotten a start on that. We're actually expecting completion next summer on that trail, and that wraps up phase 1 of the mountain biking. So lots going on up here in the village. There's also some improvements going on as well, and so it's been a lot of construction, and we're getting there.
Ian's been very busy this summer, out and about every day on the hill, working with our contractors on these projects. You know, we can't do projects like this without the partnership from our stakeholders. So the Forest Service, Salt Lake City Public Utilities, Brighton Resort is helping us as we access our snowmaking project. And just a lot of patience from our community here, and owners and mountain enthusiasts, because we have had to kind of alter access this year. Sunrise Lift has been closed a lot. The Silver Lake Trail has been closed. And we know it's been sort of a rub to those who really want to be in the mountains and play, but we really appreciate the support as we execute on these really critical projects. Thank you, Ian. Super appreciate it. Exciting stuff to share with you, and hopefully you'll get to see some cool videos that the marketing team will lay in here. So just want to wrap up. You've seen the lift is fired up behind us. Again, we plan for November 14th. We're T-60, and as soon as we can open, we will. We're super excited. But we are still open for fall mountain biking. So we are now on our fall hours, Friday, Saturday, Sundays from 10 to 6. This is a great time to ride. We got a little rain, made the trails a little tacky. The maintenance team has been doing a lot of work on the bike trails. That took a lot of usage this summer. And then our last public event of the fall is our a big Cottonwood Winter Welcome Party, and that's on Sunday the 28th. And so what we'll have going on is we'll have some great music up here, some food. We're going to have some bike competitions. I hear there's something called a whip it, maybe some track stand competitions. And then I'll be able to show the Teton Gravity Research movie that night. So Sunday, September 28th, come up. And then our final weekend of summer operations is that first weekend of October. We'll have some fun activities and promos going on. So be sure that you watch our events website. But hey, folks, for us, it's winter, it's ski season, and we are ready to roll. Thank you, and I'll see you in about a month on another update.